Amanda's Parade and Parade Handmade. This is early in the week for me, and I'm delighted that you've come by to have a look. I'm kind of excited today. Actually, I'm very excited, and it's already 3 o'clock, so I have a couple of hours to paint. I haven't painted anything, but I did a webinar this morning with, I'll put it up on the page here, a lady called Suzan, and she's the founder of the Social Sales Girls. I think it is the Social Sales Girls. Anyway, I'll put the details up on the screen and you'll have it exactly. I'll put it in the description as well. And it was just a little webinar, 40 minutes long, and it just gave me a little boost. Of course, there's always more. Content creators and marketers and all of that, they always have more to offer you, and you're kind of, they want to suck you into their sales funnel, and I get that, but I'm not going to go further with that just for the moment. But I really did get some value out of this podcast, or what did I call it, a webinar. So I leave the details here, and you might be able to find some good on her website, and if not, actually do that course. And there's an inner circle that you can join for a monthly subscription fee, which I would, but I have spent so much on Parade Handmade and all of the other things that I've done a lot of the work that they're suggesting, so I can tie up I definitely can give it a go on my own first. I've had quite a bit of success all along. It's just what I need now is a consistent strategy, I suppose. I have a strategy, but a consistent confidence in my strategy. That's what I need. I need a little bit of a boost from people who've been there before. Just a little bit of thumbs up that I'm doing the right things, and maybe a few hints and clues of how to kind of improve things. So my major thing, well, I've been mad harping on about speed there for a while. So I did all that, the UX, the SEO, you've all the time. You have to do these things all the time. But my next few things now, my big thing at the moment is building the subscriber list on Parade Handmade, so you can go directly to your supporters, the ones that actually want information and want new products and are interested in what you're doing and support what you're doing and get what you're doing, all of the above. So that's my new thing. So it's not my new thing, that's my current focus, is footfall and building the subscriber list, etc. So yeah, that was really good. So I'm very excited about that. A little victory. So welcome to Parade Handmade and Amanda's Parade. And I've started early this week, as I say. I'm going to get on with this guy, and I'll tell you a little bit more about my other victories and things later on. So I was wondering, was that all I was excited about? And I get a little bit of, what's it called? It's not stage fright. It is, I don't know, something else, brain freeze or something. But the other thing that I've been like super excited about was ticking off a job that I've had on my mind for ages. And it's so long that I don't remember who suggested it. It was somebody that I follow online. So it could have been Bliss, or it could have been from a podcast or one of the little workshops that I've done. I don't know. It might come to me, but I actually don't. But basically, whoever it was suggested that instead of using your link tree, which I have, and I really like the idea of, if you have your own website, do a page on your website with all your links on it, and then direct everyone to there, and that will help with traffic. So that will help with what I was saying earlier in that building the traffic to your site. So yeah, for that, and I just realized ever since the person, whoever it was, said that, I was like, oh, you need to sit down now one day and get all your links in one go on a page on Shopify, and then share that link in all of the places. So I did it this morning. I was going to do 2 blogs, and somehow I found myself doing this because I was waiting for the previous, not the podcast, what's the word, webinar, for the webinar to start. Now I won't get rid of my link tree, for instance, for the reason that if I don't, I don't know, in the long run, if I didn't have a website, for example, or if the website went down or something, all my links are still on the link tree. So I wouldn't get rid of it, but at the same time, I really need footfall on my site. So I wrote a big list down of all the places that I needed to put the link from my site instead of my link tree. And anywhere that you can have that link, I put my own link in now. And I was so excited. That's really what I was very excited about. But I was excited about having sat at the webinar as well for, because I don't like making appointments and sticking to them. So I'm very proud of all that. So I'm going to get on with the job in hand. And if I have any more admin-y or businessy things to explain, I'll explain them later on. Hi, this is the following day and it's Wednesday. And I had to nip out this morning to drop my husband Ed off to work. And I had the car, so I said what I'd do is I'd slip in and do a bit of shopping. But what's happened is it knocks me out of a flow. I kind of get into a slump. I got these lovely flowers from my mom yesterday, gerbers, and I love them. I'm just thinking I might want to paint them. And you see, I'm getting ahead of myself. So I'm happy now. I have all my gear out. I'm ready to go. I want to make it a painting day. I did a bit of note making there to kind of straighten my head. Actually, I didn't write the two things down. I wanted to. Two things happened yesterday with one with Etsy and Starla Moore. She's a woman who has she's really excellent. I won't even go. I think she's the chief of E-Rank and etc. etc. But check her out, Starla Moore. She's very good at information. Data crunching, all about Etsy and a whole lot more. But she mentioned, and I just saw it in fleeting, but something about, was it Etsy? Something really good. Oh yes, they're getting rid of seemingly drop shippers and people who are posing as handcraft, because the whole thing was supposed to be handmade. Etsy is all handmade, from the start, and something like that. Anyway, something good, something that I think is going to be relevant to a lot of us handmade advocates, people who really like making things from scratch. And it was our area before, and now it's, hopefully, if I'm correct in assuming that that's what she meant, that's going to be rectified. So have a look at that. Starla Moore. I'm sure Kim Bliss will have something to say about it as well. And there's another great woman on there whose name it doesn't jump to me at this second. But the other thing is YouTube. This is my little guy, by the way. I'm just trying to figure out whether to put the ice cream van in, and I've decided that I probably will, because I really want to jazz it up a little bit more. The other guy is very, very active. He's got a lot going on, and I want him to have the same vibrancy. And also I'm bursting to put an ice cream van in. I was thinking of putting a beach buggy parked in there, or else just coming through the gap there like this. But what happens to me is I start doing wheels, and wheels can be very tricky, and I don't really fancy doing it over a painting, if you know what I mean, figuring that out. So I want to do something that's going to be definite and going to work with it really well. I'm actually going to look online for the side of an ice cream van graphic, so I can just get an idea of what's expected. I can imagine there's a wheel going to go in. It's going to be across there, not here, across there, because it's behind, so maybe even to there, depending on how deep this is. You see, you have to really think about it. Put the wheel in, but I want to be able to see the hatch. That's my main thing. It's the hatch, and I want to be able to see that it's a van. So I'm hoping I can fit it in proportionally and it'll look right, and get part of the hatch at least peeping out. If not, I don't really want to put another character in, but that's okay. Even the hatch with ice cream on the top could be fun. We'll see. And then I want to do something down here, the little activity, and I'm considering putting a little few pebbles and stones in along here, and just the odd little detail. He's nearly there. Oh, I want to, whoops, sorry about that. I want to lighten up this side of his fur coat a bit more, because he is a little dark. He was very dark in this one under his turquoise towel, if you notice, and at the bottom. That's okay, he was like really in shadow, but here he's not so much in shadow, and I have to decide what kind of colouring I want him to be. So I actually for sure think he needs to have, although I do have shadow here, he needs to be brighter, the sun coming down. It's a pretty high sun, so maybe brighter here. I have to decide, is it going to go yellowy, or is it going to go whitey, or is it what's going to, all these little questions. And I have to make my little shell a bit more pronounced. And see, I put in a little bit of a spade there yesterday and sorted his toes out a little more in his blanket. So I'm kind of having fun with him, but I am dying to move on to the next one now. This is the problem. So I have to cool my heels and be happy with my progress. I'll just mention really quickly about the other business. What was it? It was the YouTube thing. Yeah, I read this. Now, I don't know. I haven't checked it out. That's why I wanted to write these two things down, which I didn't, but I will. That the subscriber list for monetization is down to 500, down from 1,000. So, nah, don't quote me on that. Check it out. It wasn't Starla or any of those women. It was some guy said it. I was just in fleeting. You know the way you're looking at the phone sometimes and you just see a thing popping up and then you don't have the time to look at it. But it sounded pretty sure. So I'm going to check that out. Anyway, I will show you a little bit of progress when I've got some of this sketching done. Right. So I bit the bullet. I have a little ice cream van in there. I realised I had to put it back further. Otherwise, they were going to be all kind of, it was just too weird to have it I just thought I'd have it peeping out there. And then I said, what's the point if you can't see the whole thing? If you can't see the window where you get the ice cream. And so if I had it parked along here so that you could see the window, well, it still was a bit odd. I thought you needed a bit of room so that you could kind of go for a walk. You could actually go around there and stand there and ask for your ice cream. I've never actually got over that. We didn't get too many when we were children. We jingle around the estates that we might have lived in when we were very small. And, the odd time you'd get it. But I suppose that was part of the thrill that you might or you might not. The first little lessons in addiction. But so there you go. I'm going to try and I'll do it. It's just, I'm always a bit nervous when I start. So what I've done is I found it online, images of ice cream vans, and then I've taken one that I kind of like and I've taken part of it and changed it a bit, obviously, and I'm not going to adhere to it. I'm just going to use it as a kind of an idea and put it in and then do my own thing on it, because I don't like copying people's work and I don't like tracing people's work either or anything like that, because I want to be able to call it my own in the end. So I'll show you how this works now in a second. Right, so I'm having a bit of fun. I think it works. Yeah, it's gonna work. It's not finished. It's just in there, and now I can kind of mess about with it. Now here's the balancing trick. He has to be front and center. He has to be the one that you notice. You don't want too much distraction in the background. And of course, an ice cream van is very distracting in the background. It is for me. I don't know why it is. It's just, I don't know. It's the same reason I find him funny. Little animals, little fellers, little personalities. I don't know. I just get amusement out of them. And similarly, I'm getting amusement out of this little ice cream van. Now, I'm having trouble with the wheels, as you do, but I'm not going to worry about it, because all in all, when you do painting, don't stress too much. That's the main thing. Have fun, get it in there, get the idea across, and that's what I love to do. So I'll put some colours in there and that'll be cutesy. And I'm going to decide the colour scheme of the van. I'm thinking a pale kind of turquoise. I'll get it in focus again. So I don't want to put pink beside pink, if you know what I mean, because it's an afterthought. So I don't want to put, pink van, pink thing. And I don't want to do too much royal blue and sky and all of that. I don't want to do green. I don't want to be drawing the eye away, you see, from him. So it's going to be kind of paler. And maybe I'm thinking of mainly doing it like white with a hint, maybe I was going to do spearmint, but there's green on the little hut beside it, and that was pretty well thought out and balanced with the colours across the rest of them. So a little trim of perhaps this, but much paler, just a very pale kind of turquoise. Something that you might see at the beach. Red. There's enough red going on. I like it in his sandals on the little life buoy and the flag. Anyway, you run into these problems. I do anyway, because because of all of that. So I'll just do it by feel and see what happens. So it's coming along. Yeah, I'll just keep tweaking and tweaking and tweaking, and eventually it'll look like it was always there. She says with confidence. Okay. So he's coming together. I need to leave well enough alone now for the moment. I have a really stiff back from standing here as well. So I have to have some lunch. I don't really want to stop. I want to go straight on now and do pebbles here and then come back to that. And I want to decorate the van a little bit more to make it fun. I'm tempted to put a big ice cream or something really cute and gorgeous on the top. The thing is, I'm afraid it might detract from what else is going on. Maybe I could, actually, if I did it in kind of very pale pastel, just kind of a suggestion of something fun, a little bit of bunting or something. Yeah, I'm going to have to get more colours into that. Blue and white is just not doing it for me. But he's getting there. It's getting there. It's still cartoony. I blame my affection for comics as a child for my drawing style. This is one of my painting style. I have another one too. It's kind of more dreamy that way, a bit more serious, grown up adult. But I'm having fun with this guy at the minute and this kind of drawing. And frankly, I actually do draw, you know, when I'm doing cafes and that, I'll paint a little bit like this. So look, who knows, there could be even more styles there. As I say, it's infinite, and it is infinite. Everyone's infinite. Everything you've got is infinite. So I'll go to get a little bit of lunch. Hi. You'll never guess, it's Friday. And not only that, it's Friday afternoon. It's 4 o'clock. And I thought I'd have all of this recorded and edited and up by this evening. But this week, it just did not happen the way I expected. I had visitors yesterday and I was like, I don't know, I was running around doing all the silly things that I needed to do, but I could probably have postponed or put aside. But I just couldn't focus because I was very excited and I wasn't going to be able to settle to paint anyway or do admin or anything like that. So I did my little house jobs, which was great. I had a cake baked, I made a load of salads, you know, all that kind of thing, and had the visit, and I really enjoyed it. But today now is Friday, and I would have got a lot of work done yesterday, and I would have been able to do all this editing today, and you know, so I'm a bit backed up. But I did something good this morning. You know, I was doing that blog course with Suzan, I can't pronounce her surname, but basically I'm doing some work with her. It's digital marketing for introverted types. And I'm not going to get into explaining what I'm like or who I'm like at this moment because I'll get myself confused and you confused worse. But basically part of that is to improve blogging, my blogging. So I'm doing that with her and I've paid for that. I paid for that, actually, the blog part of it. And I'm actually signed up now for a free webinar next week or on the 27th, something like that, and I'm delighted. But I was doing the blog based on her suggestions. I've done it already a few times, but I was putting out another one, and this time it's pushing the needle forward in your small business and how to do it, and just all my little bits that I've learned along the way and bits that I've found out for myself and such and such. So I focused on that, but I found it very hard to focus today, so it took me a little bit longer to do than I expected. So I'm not going to get painting done. On the flip side, this I got my little guy, see, I got the stones a little bit done. I want to do some water there as well, and a little bit of water washing over the stones and a few little splashies, and I want to put something in here in this little area to just have another little idea here for fun. I don't want to crowd out all of the blank spaces, but I just want to put something fun there. I won't tell you what till I'll show you next week. And then I did more in my little ice cream van. So the ice cream van is in. I've delighted with the little bit of colour. I put some ice cream in a little carton on the door, and it's flipped around because I'm on selfie mode here, but ice cream on the top and Mr. Whippy or Whippy's ice cream. Now I have an ice cream cone on the top there that has to be dealt with. It looks like a melted ice cream at the moment. I'm going to deal with that next Wednesday. I want to mention two things. One, I mentioned briefly throughout the video or during the video there somewhere where I mentioned about YouTube. I've kind of sussed it out a little bit more. I don't know, you've probably heard by now, but YouTube has cut the requirement for monetization to 500 subscribers. This doesn't worry me at the moment. I have 19 subscribers. Unless if you're new, go and subscribe and make it 20. But yeah, you only need 500 for monetization. But the caveat there is that it's not for ad spend. It's not, you don't get a portion of money for ads on your site. There's other methods of making money that you can monetize. And I'm not into it yet, so I don't understand it all. But that's what that was all about. So it's good. And the Etsy thing, I think it's true. That business about, you know, getting rid of drop shippers and people who are masquerading as handmade creators, and they're not. I haven't really got into the Etsy thing, but I did have a listen to a couple of people about the YouTube thing, and you'll find it easily because everybody jumped on that very quickly when they heard about it because it's a big deal. There were a few other, there's also the watch hours over the previous how many months, I'm not sure, was it 8-9 months or is it a year, but it was 4,000 watch hours, and now you only need 3,000 watch hours, 500 subscribers, and I think it's 3 public videos uploaded within a certain period of time, which is an easy do. So that was what all that was about. So I was glad I kind of looked at that. But as I was saying, it doesn't really bother me at the moment. Oh, there was you can put your own shop up, as in you can sell, but I can't because I'm from Ireland, if I'm correct there again. It doesn't bother me at the moment because I know I can't do it yet, but I am trying my best, and that's that. So, without further ado, I will thank you for watching and say good luck with your own projects this week, and just really go for it and just keep going forward a little bit more every time you wake up and have the time. Do a little something that's going to push the needle forward, something that you know is going to help, even if you don't like doing it, even if it's something yucky. You'll feel so good when it's done, like admin for me, or sometimes I don't feel like coming on here and I go, just do it, it's fine, and it is fine. Now I have to apologize for not getting the tripod out. I was going to, and I don't know what's stopping me. It's a kind of a resistance thing, but the convenience of it maybe, I don't know. And I like to do this on the spur of the moment because it feels more natural. So if I have to get the whole lighting equipment out and the tripod and the whole thing, I don't know. But anyhow, all is well. Thanks for watching and good luck with your stuff this week, and I'll see you again next week.